Hi, everybody. It's Amanda over at Amanda Reads.
Hi, I'm Fiona from ReadsandEats.
And today we're going to be doing our live show for our buddy read of Legends and Lattes by Travis Baldry.
Yeah,
And today we're going to be doing our... Oh, mute that. All right. Oh, yours is nicer.
But then the end. Wait till you see the inside. Hold on. I'll take out the actual cover. My end papers.
Oh, it's like my cover.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah, but I couldn't get hardcover here.
You see, the paperback hasn't come out here yet, so it was only hardback.
That's so weird.
So,
okay.
Yeah.
Well, it was nice to read it as a paperback, I will say, and yours has the prequel.
The prequel right? At the back.
Yeah, which I didn't read and you didn't read either.
No.
That's okay.
I don't know if it'll have added really very much to it, really.
No, I don't think so either. All right, so let's give a little synopsis of what the book was about. Do you want to do the synopsis or do you want me to do the synopsis?
You do the synopsis because I think I did the last one.
Okay. So this book centers around our main character, Viv, and she is an orc, right? And she has retired from her life of fighting and is going to be opening up her own coffee shop in the little quaint town area where she is. But the problem is that nobody knows what coffee is. So she not only struggles with opening a new business, but also attracting customers because no one knows what she's even making. And so there's a lot of descriptions of coffee, and it's just a very cozy book, and you still have some action and a little bit of romance, but it's just a really cozy read.
Yeah, it is. I mean, there are characters that you kind of connect with, maybe more than others, which is good. There are some baddies in it as well. I've got to say, not all of the people are nice. So yeah, but it was. I enjoyed it. I'm not saying it blew me away. I enjoyed it. What did you give it, rating wise?
I did give it a 5.
Whoa!
But you know why? Because I don't typically read like cozy books. I typically read like really intense, aggressive and violent like thrillers and suspense stories. So to change and get like the complete opposite and just have this cozy book, I think it just tapped into like all my senses.
Okay.
Like the aromas of the coffee and everything. And I was like, oh, I just feel like it's like a hug. So okay. It was nice.
Good. I give it 3.5.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Which is very strange because normally I would have probably rated. I think I'd reached a point where I was almost like burnout because I've read so much this year. I think kind of I went burnout. But now that kind of coming back to it now and thinking about it, I would possibly up my rating to 4.
Okay.
So that's all right. But yeah, I have to say I loved her. The little friend,
Oh yes, what's his name? Thimble.
Thimble. He is gorgeous. I love him.
All the little things he made. Oh.
Yeah, I know. But it was really funny because this character called Thimble, friends, he comes into the shop one day and he's a baker. And so our main character asks him to come and work for her. And he makes all these things, and the first thing he makes is like what they call thimblets. And I'm like, that's biscotti. And it's like the fact that they don't know what these things are. And also the fact that he makes cinnamon rolls. I'm not joking. When he was starting with that, I was sitting there going, oh, I really want to start trying to make a cinnamon roll, you know?
Yeah, the descriptions of all the food and just even like, I like coffee, but I'm not like a huge coffee connoisseur, but just like I could like smell it while I was reading the book. It was but it wasn't too descriptive. It wasn't like it took away from the story. It was part of the story because she was trying to explain what she was selling. So it was a valid place for a description to go. And it just felt so nice. But yeah, you read like a lot this year, so it doesn't surprise me
Yeah.
that you might have been a little burnt out by November.
Crazy, crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it was. I also like the town setting. I like the fact that it was, shall we say, old time setting. It wasn't modern day. Although we're not actually given a year as to when it was set.
Right.
But it's old town, it's old time, and I like the fact that you're meeting different people who are coming in, and each character brought something different to the story.
Mhm.
Like their neighbor across the way who tried to give them those, was it cakes? And they were like hockey pucks.
Yeah. That was funny. That was the first person that she meets, right? That was the
Yeah.
woman that she met first. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's funny. That's
I
funny.
mean, the guy that she got to come in and do all the carpentry work, it was really interesting to read how he put the actual the shop together, as it were.
Mhm. I liked when the character that kept coming in, but he wouldn't buy anything, and then she's like, "You have to buy it," and he's like, "I don't like hot
Mhm.
drinks." And I'm like, "Oh, here comes iced coffee. It's coming,
Yeah.
it's coming."
Yeah.
But the one thing that yeah, I actually give this a 4.75
Okay.
according to my Goodreads. And I had said that, I wanted that side character who, like I don't know if this is spoilery, I don't feel like it is, but it might be. The character who's, like, clearly time traveling, the one that, like, plays by himself.
Oh yes. Yes.
Like, obviously, there's something going on time-wise or he can, like, tell the future or something, like,
Mhm.
something with him because he was like, "Oh, that hasn't happened yet?" Like, "Oh, everything's gonna turn out fine." Did you catch that?
Maybe I skipped
It
that bit.
was remember the guy who, like, always plays chess by himself? And they're like, "It
Oh,
moves, but I don't understand how it moves."
that's yes. I know who you mean now. Yes,
He
him.
says something about, like, "Oh, everything went well," and Viv's like, "What are you talking about?" And he's like, "Oh, it hasn't happened yet? Like, oh, everything's gonna be fine." So I don't know if they were trying to insinuate, like, he was time traveling and playing, like, chess with himself or if he could, like, see the future. I don't know, but they just, like, never explain like, we got, like, that, and then it was we never saw him again.
Yeah, I understand that. Yeah, because um, you're right. Because it was like and then the cat would
Yeah.
come to him. Yeah.
So he was I'm looking at my review and I said, like, that was the thing I wanted more of,
Hmm.
and that was, like, my one, like, loose end. And
Hmm.
I was going to I do have the Fable app. Do you have that app?
No, I don't. No.
It's this app, at least it's in the US. I don't know if it's like I mean, I feel like you can access apps everywhere, but not necessarily. But it's like this book club app. So you just, like, log in, onto the app, and then you can search, like, by person, like if it's a
Hmm.
booktuber or a book
Hmm.
talk person or whatever. And then you can also search like by book. So I searched Legends and Lattes and there was a book club reading this book. So
Hmm.
basically like whatever book they're reading, they'll post like
Okay.
every chapter so you can write like your reaction to every chapter or
Hmm.
just see what someone else was doing. So I was following along with what everyone else was saying and then they did a live show with the author.
Hmm.
Intending on attending it,
Hmm.
I didn't end up doing it, but I wanted to ask that question, like, what is up with because I couldn't tell if it was leaving it open for, like, another book.
True. I mean, I think there is an opening for another book because we've obviously got. Is it Finian? The the one that she used to work with,
Yeah.
who was not very nice, and who obviously wanted what was buried beneath the flagstones.
Yes.
Now he has to get his comeuppance in some way,
Yeah, right? Is that true?
So there's that loose end. We've got the dwarf guy who plays the chess. He's a loose end. I don't know that is the Mandrigal going to play a more in-depth role in another book.
I know, I liked her.
That was a surprise. I thought that they were I thought it was gonna be a man. I really did.
I know. Well, the thing about this book is, I'm just looking up right now, it wasn't originally like a published book. I forget where it came from.
Okay.
But I believe this book was like, you know how you can like write a book on Wattpad, things like that.
Okay.
Like this wasn't into, this has been, I believe, around on the internet for a while. And then it got so many people interested in it that they wanted it actually published. So part of it could be like that this wasn't as necessarily thought out, all the loose ends, because it wasn't initially going to be published.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I'm looking at Goodreads. And at the moment people are asking the author, will there be a sequel? And I can't actually get an answer to it.
He said another book in the same world is being written.
Okay, so that means...
So it's not the sequel, because they said, will there be a sequel or another book set in the same world? And he said another book in the same world is being written. I mean, I guess he doesn't have to say whether or not
it's a sequel or not. So if it's in the same world, I would assume that you're going to have a number of the same characters, surely.
Someone said, is this about... Someone said, hello, I was just thinking about starting the book and I was curious if you're going to make it a series. And he said, a second book is already written, although I like it if each story can stand alone and doesn't require you to read the next.
Okay.
So I guess it's going to technically be like a sequel, but it's not, doesn't rely on you reading the first one.
No.
It's like a companion?
It could be, because there are so many characters whose stories he can elaborate on.
Yeah, because then it wouldn't make it feel like it's loose ends if they all kind of relate to one another and they kind of go together. Because I definitely I want to see like Thimble's life.
Yeah.
And what's the Tandri? Liked her.
Yeah, I did like her as well. I
liked every character, I feel like.
Yes. I mean, I think the lute player was hilarious. He was funny.
Yeah. Yeah, he was funny.
He was funny because like the first time he comes in, it's like not exactly the roaring success.
Exactly.
And yeah, it'd be interesting to know more about his backstory, but I'd really like more of Tanya's backstory, because it's like she's obviously been an academic, and there's some things happened. It'd be really nice to know what happened as her backstory.
Yeah, definitely. And I forget, like towards the end, everything's back to normal by the end, right? Yes.
Yeah, everything's back to normal. Yes.
Okay.
Everything has come back to full circle. Although, a minute to go. The end.
Is the thing still buried?
No, didn't finish. He's taken it.
So that's what I'm saying. There's got to be like a...
There's got to be...
Wait, but then he gets... It's Fennis, right? That's his name?
Fennis. Oh, that's right.
And
he's been jumped on
at the end.
I don't know if he got killed, but he got jumped on, didn't he?
I mean, the fangs huge.
The sooty creature, its fur bristling, its fangs huge, green eyes alive and with liquid malice. He had only a final sliver of a second to think. It's the cat. So and it goes the last two words are Amity leapt. So obviously the cat's gone for him, but does he have some form of magic that he can fight the cat off?
I feel
That's
like
a
it's left for us to interpret. I mean, I interpret it as the end of him,
Mm-hmm.
but not the end of the story, because then obviously there's going to be more that happens after that.
Yeah.
But the end of him as a threat.
Which would be good, because obviously the other members of the group that Viv worked with are still friends with her.
Mm-hmm.
He's the only one that's not.
Right. Was he was like the second in command, kind of.
I thought
right?
he was. I thought he was the one in command.
I feel like they kind of deferred to Viv so much, though, but maybe not.
No, I think
you're right. I think he's kind of in charge.
Because did he not say to her, after her final battle, well, what do you want? And she goes, I've got what I wanted and I'm walking away, or something along those lines.
Yeah, she did. She did.
And, from what the Mandrigal said, or the way it was put, I thought that he was the main one, but maybe I'm wrong.
No, I think you're right. It's coming back. It's just been
slowly.
Been a while. I like how every time that something new was put on the menu, how they'd redo the menu and you would get to see what it looked like, and the descriptions would change and the prices would change. And
yeah.
I thought that was cool.
It was, and it was nice to bring in sort of the artistic side of Tandri. That she was, it was something she was able to do, and she did it so well, which I think good.
Yeah, definitely. I know. I really liked it. What didn't you like about it that made you not give it a higher rating?
To kind of now chatting about it, I think it was probably just burnout, if I'm really honest, because kind of now thinking about it, yes, it was a good book, and to sort of give it such a rating as 3.5 or 3 to 3.5, it probably deserves more. It probably deserves a 4. I can see you're looking at me going, get back onto Goodreads and up your rating, aren't you?
It just has so many good ratings.
I know.
Like, I'm actually impressed.
Mm-hmm. I know that. I mean, I've watched somebody else read it last year. Do you follow Reagan from Peruse Project?
I do, but I haven't really been watching her videos lately. I haven't been watching many videos lately.
She read it last year and absolutely loved it, and that's kind of what on my radar. Because she's normally, she reads mostly fantasy anyway, so it's like I thought, well, if she, I thought I'd give it a shot, and I think now sort of talking about it and just chatting it through, and sort of, I think I probably will up my rating.
I think that the reason it was on my radar is because I saw so many people talk about it who weren't necessarily readers of fantasy, which made me feel like it wasn't going to be super intimidating as a fantasy standpoint.
Yeah.
And that it would have like a little bit of everything and not be like too overwhelming, like have to get into like a whole magic system or anything like that.
Yeah.
That's what I like. Yeah. It's like not much happens, but like I liked it anyways.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Normally I don't like if it's like nothing happens.
Yeah. I think because there was so much description in it, I think that really helped it. I think if there hadn't been so much description of how the cafe was set out, the people that were coming in, and what was being made, and all the adaptations that they made to the cafe as time went on, I think that helped really sort of cement it in the setting.
Yeah. And this was a nominee for Goodreads Choice Awards for Best Fantasy,
All right.
which I kind of feel like compared to fantasy, it didn't really stand a chance because the fantasy wasn't, but it came 8th.
Wow.
Out of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Out of like the 20, like the top 20, it was 8th.
That's good.
So, I mean, it had 26,000 votes, which is good because it only has like 30 something thousand reviews.
Okay.
But yeah. So it seems like anyone that's reading it really liked it, but I feel like I know it's a fantasy novel, but it's not really like comparable.
Yeah. I mean, yes, it's fantasy, but there's no, you don't get a lot of the magic system. There's the guy about the ley lines.
Right.
And
right.
Viv uses the ley lines. It's not the focus, which I thought was quite nice. For somebody who is not a major fantasy reader, that sort of system was very easy to follow. Whereas with some fantasy books, you really do struggle to try and work out what's going on.
I feel like it was more like the fantasy was the setting.
Yeah.
Aspect. Like you would get references to the different things, the fantasy elements, because of where you were physically.
Yeah.
And then it wasn't like the driving the plot. And like if you look at the genres, I mean, it has romance, LGBT, cozy mystery, fantasy, fiction. Like there's it has so many elements of different genres. It's like I feel like you can't really categorize it.
No.
It's like a little of everything.
Yeah, which is good.
Yeah.
And also, yes, there was romance in it and LGBT, but it wasn't like it didn't define the book.
Yeah, none of those genres defined the book. It was like a little bit of everything combined like its own genre.
Yeah. So do you think if there is the next book, are you going to read it?
I think I would. Yeah, definitely. I would read it for sure. Because I'm interested in a lot of the characters. I don't know when it would come out because this one only was just published in February.
Yeah.
So I think it's definitely been out for a while. Like I said, I believe it initially started somewhere on the internet, but like it's really only been out since February, and I've only just started hearing a lot of people talk about it, maybe because it's kind of like a warm setting, so it's kind of like a good fall wintry read.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that might be why more people are just talking about it now, but I would definitely read it. I'm going to read the prequel too, because maybe that has more information about some of those questions.
Yeah, maybe. So yeah, and I think the prequel's only about 40 pages or something.
Yeah, it's definitely small. But I think it actually focuses more on like Viv during her battle years. Oh yeah, and maybe this is what I was thinking of. Maybe it didn't. Okay, maybe this didn't start on the internet. Maybe it did. But what I thought was interesting was that he's a full-time audiobook narrator.
Oh wow, I didn't know that.
Reading the audiobooks made him like think about how to structure a story and stuff, and then he does he does this audiobook.
Oh wow.
Which I would like to actually listen to because it's nice to hear like exactly how the author you know,
in your book, back of it after the prequel, do you have the recipe for Thimblets and then an interview with Travis Baldry?
No.
Oh no, I do.
Rude. No, I just have an author bio. Like, here's the end of the thing, and here's the author bio.
Oh no.
That's unkind.
That's not good. I tell you what I'll do. I'll take photographs of them and I'll I'll post them through to you.
Definitely.
Yeah, because I think it's quite nice actually that we've got a. I hadn't actually realised that until I kind of looked at that now. But I think it's quite nice that we've got an author interview because it might fill in.
Yeah.
Some idea.
I'm more excited about the recipe, but yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I'll definitely. Yeah, we should make the recipe and compare notes.
Yeah. But overall, I would definitely recommend it.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just nice. It made me want to read like more cozy books.
Okay.
Which I only recently discovered is like its own genre, which is like the cozy mystery.
Oh.
I never knew that was like a category. I just assumed it was like a nice light mystery. I didn't know it was called like cozy.
Oh yeah. Okay. Let's think. You know that I read them anyway. I love cozy mysteries. They are brilliant. What one would I start with? Go for the Bookshop Mystery series by V.M. Burns.
The plot is murder.
Yeah. Okay. This is about Sam who runs a mystery bookshop. Okay. And her nana lives nearby, in like a retirement village.
Mm-hmm.
And she and her cronies in the retirement village help Sam to solve murders.
Cool.
Nana Jo's brilliant. I love her as a character. So I would definitely go for those. If you're looking for maybe one that's got, shall we say, maybe a bit more homey in many ways, the Diva series by Krista Davis.
How do you spell Krista?
Krista.
I looked, I couldn't find it. Oh, the Diva series?
Yep. Hold on.
And what's Krista's last name?
Davis, Davis. Hold on. Can you give me 2 shakes?
Oh, no, I see it. Yep, I see it. A domestic... Wait, I think I've read one of these. I might have read one of these.
Okay. They're quite nice.
They sound very familiar. Well, I don't have anything else to say about Legends and Lattes,
Nope.
do you? All right,
No, I
so why
don't.
don't we end the broadcast and then we can keep discussing. All right, so thank you everybody for watching this quick little book talk.
Yeah,
we definitely recommend reading it for sure. Fiona's upped her rating already since the beginning of this video. So. You saw it here. It's better than originally anticipated.
Yeah. But hopefully we'll be back later in the year. That's something we'll be discussing next once we're off air. How we're going to structure our buddy reads this year. But hopefully we'll be back within a couple of months with another live. And you'll enjoy it there and join us then again.
All right. Thanks, everybody.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye.